Welcome, this is Denome. In this video you will learn if XOR will be a $30 million market cap coin or if it will be a $1 billion market cap coin. And at the end of the video I will also tell you how much I have been buying XOR as well. So first thing you have to look at when you look at the new project is the overview here, because you want to take a look at the price. And the first thing about the price that you know is that it was here like almost $1 and then it went to $100. So you already had a 100x with this token, and now it's been making a nice pullback, and now it's been consolidating. So this is where I have been accumulating some XOR. So that's the first thing, and congratulations to everybody who were with XOR during this time, because you made some amazing gains. But I think it's still a $30 million market cap, and it's solving a very big problem, or big problems, and that's why I wanted to make this video as well. So the first thing to note about XOR is that it's built on the Polkadot ecosystem. So Polkadot, it's a new blockchain, and it's ranked 9 already on CoinMarketCap, and the market cap is $3.6 billion. And Polkadot, they have some real talent behind them, because the founder of Polkadot is the same guy who created the coding language for the Ethereum smart contracts. And Polkadot, what they will allow Ethereum to do is they allow Ethereum to scale up as well as become interoperable. So on Polkadot you can have these side chains, and you can have an Ethereum blockchain or another blockchain connect to Polkadot, do some calculations or use the side chains, and then return the function back to the real blockchain. So it will be like a hub for different blockchains to connect to Polkadot. And XOR will be in key part of that ecosystem, because XOR will be the Uniswap of Polkadot. So on Uniswap here, you can actually already buy XOR tokens, and on Uniswap you can buy basically any ERC20 tokens. So basically any token that is built on Ethereum blockchain, you can buy and sell on Uniswap. But Polkaswap.io will be using XOR token as the liquidity token. So if you want to provide liquidity on Polkaswap, the automated market making decentralized exchange, you will have to use XOR for that. And whenever you pay the fees on Polkaswap, you will be using XOR tokens as well. So that's the utility for Polkaswap and the XOR token. But there's also other utilities for XOR tokens as well, which I will cover soon. But let's first, because Polkaswap it's not released yet, it's being released. So let's take a look at the development. So on Twitter here, you can see they have 2,000 followers. So nothing crazy yet. But here on their latest update on August 21st, 2 days ago, they say that the design of the unique bridging protocol is finished. And bridging basically means that you are able to bridge ERC20 tokens to Polkadot ecosystem. So the bridging protocol is now finished, and they will have more information soon, so we don't have that yet. And they have the draft of the decentralized exchange prototype, and that's complete, as well as the UI. It's not working yet, but they have an interface to work with the swaps currently. And as you can see here, they are now building on the first bridge prototype, as well as they are building on the Rococo parachain testnet to have the integration there. So that's basically the development for Polkaswap, and the Polkaswap team is the same team that is building XOR token as well. It's called Sora is the company. I will soon cover them very soon, as well as some interesting partnerships they have going on. But before that, I want to talk about Polkaswap, because this is the #1 utility for XOR tokens. So Polkaswap, as you can see here, it's a decentralized exchange focused on interoperability to connect the rest of the crypto ecosystem to Polkadot. So like I said, this is the critical part of the Polkadot ecosystem, this XOR token and the Polkaswap. And if we scroll down here, you can see that the traded pairs are not only limited to ERC20 tokens, but you can have tokens from other blockchains on there as well. And everything is working on the Polkadot ecosystem. You have lower gas fees than on Uniswap and other places. The transaction times are fast, and they are scalable, and they will have a P-swap token as well. If you provide liquidity on Polkaswap ecosystem, you will earn these P-swap tokens. And this is a criticism I have for the project, because they have too many tokens. They have the well, I will show you all the tokens soon, but they have too many tokens. Anyway, that's the Polkaswap. Quickly, they don't have a working product yet, but 20,000 transactions per second can be done on the Hyperledger Iroha version 2 when it launches. Hyperledger Iroha 2 version 2 is basically the blockchain of XOR. And now let's talk about the company. So the company that's building all of this is called Zoramitsu. It's a Japanese company, and they are working with the National Bank of Cambodia, as well as 16 regional banks inside Cambodia. So National Bank of Cambodia is basically the central bank of Cambodia, and they were working on this Bakong system. And here we can learn more about the Hyperledger Iroha, Bakong, and Sora, as well as they are doing other things as well. And I did not even look at what the other ones are. They are working with some Moscow exchange. I don't know, like a lot of things, but as an investor, I just want to take a quick look and find the most important things. So all of these I did not check. So maybe there's some even better things that they are working on which I even don't know about. So let me know. But Polkaswap is basically the Zoramitsu, the number one thing I think what they are doing. So let's before I talk about the tokenomics of the XOR token, I want to talk about this relationship with the National Bank of Cambodia. So the cool thing is that this is actually launched, this case study is actually launched on hyperledger.org, which is part of the Linux Foundation. So they are helping people do like decentralized finance solutions and blockchain things on Hyperledger. And here in this case study, they had the National Bank of Cambodia as well as the Zoramitsu company, and Zoramitsu developed this Hyperledger Iroha, and they used the version 1 for this case study. And in the case study, they had 16 banks, 10,000 users, and the throughput of the transactions was 2,000 on the version 1. And the thing they wanted to achieve with this is that in Cambodia, you have 16 banks, interbank exchange rates or transfer rates are quite high, and a lot of people in Cambodia don't have a bank account. So they wanted to have an easy solution, low fees, scalable, as well as the interbank transfer fees were too high. So they wanted to fix all of that, and Zoramitsu helped them. So 78% of the citizens did not have a bank account. And how it worked, let me scroll all the way down here because you just want to know the juicy stuff, right? So the process worked like this. So you had a smartphone and an ID, and when you had that, you simply logged into the the mobile app and you associated yourself with one of the member banks. You did not have to fulfill the full KYC, but if you did, then you were able to do more transactions if you did the full KYC. And when you did all of this, basically the banks were hosting the blockchain, but the users, they still held their own private keys. So nobody can block their account or stop any transfers or anything like that. Everything was running on the blockchain, even though banks were in this project as well. And the Bakong on the application is like an e-wallet. You were able to buy and sell from merchants, as well as send money to friends and family through peer-to-peer transfers. And now they have more than 500 merchants already registered, and they reduced the high fees for interbank transfers. And what's next for Bakong is that they will have an official countrywide launch of Bakong scheduled for the later part of 2020. So we will see if this will actually launch or not. But this year, if this is going to launch, it's going to be huge for XOR as well. So this alone is completely another use case for XOR token. And this is just one of many that they had here, which I did not even look at. But this is just one they are working on and doing. And as you can see here about Zoramitsu, it's a company, the Japanese technology company, decentralized autonomous economy. They are working on that. They had the Hyperledger here, which is the part of the Linux Foundation. And yeah, that's basically the use case. But now let's talk about the Zora token. So the Zora token, here you can see that the ERC20 version of XOR is capped at 350,000 units or XOR tokens until the version 2 actually launches. So if you go to CoinGecko right here, you can see that the inflation is already tapped. So there will be no more inflation for XOR, which is very important because there have been other projects like XIO and ORN that I've covered in the past, and their inflation is still like in the 80% range, 80-90% range, and even in a CRO, Crypto.com, it has like 83% inflation is still coming to the market. So a lot of supply is coming to the market, but with XOR, currently the market cap has been fulfilled already, so there's no inflation currently for XOR. So that's very important. And the next thing you need to know about XOR token is that if you hold this ERC20 token, when the version 2 of XOR actually launches, you will also be airdropped another token called STK. And this is why I said, like, this is my complaint of the project, is that they have the XOR, they have the P-swap, as well as they have the STK. So I will cover a little bit of those, but there's not too much information of either of those coins yet. But if you hold this during version 2 launch, then you will get the STK token. So I'm expecting, like, towards the version 2 launch, I'm expecting people to want this STK token even though they don't know what it is, just because they can get the airdrop if they hold this coin before the launch. So just keep that in mind as well. And the Sora version 1 tokens, they will be rebranded and they will become basically the governance token of XOR blockchain. So here you can see that they actually had 1.6 billion XOR tokens, which are the version 1 tokens. But I was talking with them on the Telegram, and in this blog post even they say that the XOR version 1 tokens will never be part of version 2. They will be rebranded and they will be the governance token for the XOR blockchain. So just keep that in mind, that whatever this number is, it doesn't matter that there's the version 1 tokens. Version 2 tokens is the one that will be used on the XOR blockchain. But there will be, that you have to understand of the version 2, is that when the version 2 launches, there will be a token bonding curve. So there will be increase in the supply of XOR tokens in the future. So after the version 2 launches, the XOR, it will have like a inflationary model where it will increase the quantity to keep the price stable, price per unit stable, because they are referencing here to some studies about economics, where you have to have quite a stable currency for it to be used as a currency. So if the currency itself is not stable, it will not be used. And their whole idea is that XOR will be used by the masses. That's their big idea. So that's why they will be increasing the supply, and they have like an automatic system to keep the supply going up or reducing the supply depending on if the price of XOR is going up or down. So just that for how XOR version 2 works. But however it works, it doesn't really matter until the version 2 actually launches. And even when the version 2 launches, I'm expecting the price to be very, very, very volatile until the use cases start to kick in and there start to be like a relatively stable increasing demand. But until then, of course, the speculators will speculate. So it will have more pumps and ups and downs after the launch as well. So just keep that in mind as well. And before I show you the SDK and that, I want to show you this. So the Sora version 1, it will be transformed into a completely new token with another name. So whatever the version 1 tokens are, you can forget them. They will be used for another purpose. And no Sora version 1 network tokens will be converted to dilute the version 2 network. So just that's their promise. And all ERC20 XOR tokens will become version 2 XOR automatically. So if you just hold the ERC20 token version of XOR, it will automatically be converted to version 2, and the initial supply is capped at 350,000 XOR. As well as when the thing happens, you will be airdropped this STK token, and it will be given to you in 1-to-1 ratio. So if you hold 25 XOR, then you will get 25 STK as well. And now let's talk about the STK. STK, okay, here we go. Here, so new token STK, this will be used to pay people for staking XOR. So if you stake XOR and you are basically providing the proof of stake security for XOR, you will be getting paid in STK tokens. And unfortunately, we have no clue what the STK token will actually do and what will hold value on the STK token. And they say it will be fully explained in the future article, which is a little bit of a letdown for me because I really want to know how these things work before I invest. and there will be the P-swap token, and this one will be paid if you provide liquidity on the Polkaswap ecosystem. So if you provide liquidity on the Polkaswap ecosystem, you will get these P-swap tokens. And again, we have no idea what other things you can do with the P-swap token. I hope they will have some utility there other than just to dump it on the market, because if that's happened, then of course the token price of P-swap will just go down and down and down. So I hope they will have figured this out. But this is my big critique of the XOR ecosystem, is that they have too many tokens. They have the XOR, P-swap, STK, and as well as the rebranded decentralized autonomous organization token. So way too many tokens in my opinion, and it's super annoying for sure if you are trying to figure out how all of these things work. And even when I was talking with the team in Telegram, some of the questions were a little bit ignored, so that's not too good to see it and that kind of thing happening. So you have to also get all of this information. Like, I'm not super bullish, like I'm not mega bullish on this project. I'm bullish enough that I see that this could become very big, and I see that there's some with the STK tokens, especially if they explain how it works, I expect the price of XOR to go up until the release of the version 2 of XOR, when they actually launch everything. And by the way, when they launch the version 2 of XOR, after that there will be the Polkaswap.io exchange. So before the version 2 actually launches, there will not be a Polkaswap for the public, as far as I know. So I think that's basically covers everything I wanted to tell you about this project. One more thing, you can currently download their application already. So the Sora.org, you can come here and download this application, and you can basically vote on different projects that you want the company to allocate their resources, or the foundation to allocate their resources. And these tokens that are on this application, these use the version 1 of XOR, or the autonomous organization tokens. And when you download this application, you get like 3 XOR version 1s airdrop to you every day. But currently you cannot use them for anything, because there's nothing to be voted on currently. So you can just hoard these tokens, and maybe they will have some value in the future, or maybe they will just be like some reputation that you have. I don't know exactly how it works, but currently this mobile application was a little bit lackluster and a little bit of a disappointment to me, because there's nothing you can do on that currently. So that's basically everything. This is by the way, the team. Let's just see if there's the team. Makoto Takemiya, it's this guy. He's a Western guy, but he has a Japanese name. I'm actually not sure if he was born in Japan or not, but I know he speaks fluent Japanese, and he's based in Japan, and the company is Japanese, and he's basically who has created all of this tech, or the main architect behind that. So he's like a smart guy, smart brain behind the project. I don't know if here. So these are all the other people who are working with the project as well. So they have some serious people behind them. They have some really good partnerships. They're solving a big problem, and it seems like they have solved many of the things already, but the STK tokens, P-swap, and the autonomous organization tokens are just annoying. But whatever the case is, this token, if the things work what they are doing, if the use case works, and if they can become the Uniswap of Polkadot ecosystem, then I can see the value of this token to skyrocket. So it could go 300 million, it can go even to 1 billion if all of this works perfectly. But if the use cases start to be like, we're not going to use that one, or something else becomes first, or there's some scaling solutions for Ethereum, or something happens that we don't anticipate, then this could of course go to zero. So I put $3,000 myself on XOR with the average price of about $80. So that's my entry, and I'm not planning on buying more. I will sell some if the price goes up, but I will keep for sure some XOR for that potential price increase towards the version 2 launch. So that's basically my assessment of XOR, what it is, what it can do, and some of the risks there as well. Alright, that's it for this video. If you thought this was interesting, consider hitting the like button as well as subscribing to the channel to learn more content like this one, and I will see you on the next video.